Hey guys, my name's Daniel and welcome back to the Motor Dan's Garage, and today we are doing a brake fluid change on the Meanstreak. Now Kawasaki recommends changing your brake fluid every 2 years regardless of kilometres. That's a pretty standard across the board maintenance item. So Kawasaki recommends using DOT 4 brake fluid in this bike. You can also use DOT 3 or DOT 5.1. They are completely interchangeable and mixable. So whatever you want to use, you can use. I use DOT 4, it's the general standard brake fluid. It's easy to come by and it's what everybody recommends. Now it's a real simple job to do. This is your front brake master cylinder up here, and there is 2 GIS screws on there. Now in the toolkit for your bike will be a GIS screwdriver, which just goes into the spark plug tool. And you want to use this. If you use a normal Phillips screwdriver, you will round them off. So if you don't have the original toolkit, I recommend you go and buy a GIS screwdriver. So you need that to get into the master cylinder. You need a 10mm spanner to open the bleed nipple, and I've just got an old Coke bottle with a bloody straw in it. And that's pretty much all you need. Right, so to start with, we'll open up this. I'll put a rag around there just so I don't make a mess, and we will top this up. Right, so I'm going to carefully put a rag all the way around this. Brake fluid is highly corrosive, so you want to avoid getting that any of your paintwork whatsoever. I do have the tank off this bike. I'm doing a few other jobs to it, so don't worry about that. If you do have your tank on, I would be even more extra careful with this. If we can take our screws off and remove the cap. There will be a plastic cap and then a rubber sort of boot under there. Right. Now if you had some form of a vacuum bleeder or a Mitivac or something like that, you would suck this brake fluid out and start completely fresh. I don't have anything like that, so all I'm going to do is top it up and we'll just have to cycle a bit more fluid through. With brake fluid being hydroscopic, you want to make sure you're always using it from a sealed container. So don't be using that brake fluid that you bought 2 years ago to bleed it. It's going to be just as bad as the brake fluid that's in your bike. You want to always buy a new container every time you do it. So you're always going with the freshest fluid in there. Right, we'll come down to the brakes now, and you want to start generally from the furthest away point from the master cylinder. So you'll see there's a bleed nipple here, so just remove the wee cover, and it's a 10mm bleed nipple. You want to put on your bottle, and what you want to do, it's kind of a two-handed job here. You want to put pressure on with the brake lever, and then you want to come down and open up the nipple, and you'll see it now goes back to the bars. When it's back at the bar, you want to close the nipple and then release. Pressure on, open up, close, release. And you want to repeat this process until there's clean fluid coming out. We'll probably cycle through a bit of fluid here, to be honest, because this is pretty dirty stuff. Now with doing this, you just want to make sure you never run out, because you'll get air in the system and it will be tricky to bleed. Right, so we'll now cycle through 2 master cylinders worth of fluid there. So I've got that closed. I'll just give that a wee nip up. Don't go mega tight on that. And then pop off this. Look at the colour of that fluid there. It's black. That fluid should be pretty much see-through. And we'll come around to the other side and do the same thing. Right, this is run about 2 through that side as well. So close off the bleed nipple, pull off my bottle, give it a wee nip up and put the cap back on. Again, look at the colour of that fluid. Right, so we've got to make sure we've got the correct level in there. There is a level sight which you can see from the front, and that is with the cover on. When I put this rubber cover on, the level will probably rise a little bit. So we may have to just bleed a wee bit more through to get it to the correct level. We'll see. Put the cap on and the screws. You really just want a quick nip on these, nothing major. Just like that. Give it a wipe down. Cool. And you want to check your level just up here. Give it a shake. You can just see an air bubble at the top of the glass there, which means you are at the correct level. So that's the front brakes done. Now you just want to have a good feel of that lever, make sure it feels pretty good. This feels pretty similar to what it did. If it is feeling pretty soft, a quick tip is to cable tie this lever back to the handlebar, or tie it back somehow and just leave it overnight, and what that will do will allow any air remaining in the lines to exit via the top if you leave the cap off as well. Right guys, that's a brake fluid change on the Meanstreak done. That only took probably about 10 minutes including filming, so it's a really simple job to do. Anybody can do it. It's pretty universal to most bikes. Unless it's got ABS, then it does become a bit more trickier and you've got to bleed the actual ABS actuator itself, but on something like this it's no problem whatsoever. One other thing is just hold pressure on the brake, front brake and the rear brake, and just double check those bleed nibbles, make sure they're not leaking, and then you're good to go for a ride. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you all next time guys. See you later.